Hey book lovers, my name is Em and I want to talk about books. And cats. Hello, book lovers. It's almost Christmas, and I am getting so excited. Today I had my Christmas day. I tend to have one day before, everybody goes on Christmas break, where I just take the day to myself. And this year I finished up buying stocking stuffers, so now I am officially done with my Christmas shopping. And then I played Christmas carols, and then I found my favorite version of the Nutcracker on YouTube, so I watched that. And later I'm going to make Christmas cookies, so I'm going full on Christmas today, just to keep myself in the spirit, which is a lot harder to do because there's no snow. I live in a place where there's usually lots of snow, and it's going to be a weird Christmas if there's no snow, but fingers crossed, maybe we'll get some. So really quick, if you are enjoying this podcast, please subscribe and leave a rating for me, especially on iTunes. It really helps get the podcast seen by other people. And if you're enjoying it and you know someone else who would, tell them about it. And, I would love to have more listeners. And to the people who are listening to me, I really, really appreciate it. I'm super excited to do this podcast, and I'm super excited to see that it's growing. And I really, really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. So as you know, my book Feelers is officially out in paperback and ebook form. There's the link in the show notes if you want to check it out. It's a nice quick read. You can kind of escape reality for a little while, and there's a nice mix of magic and science and kind of a power struggle. So if you're into any of that, if you like fantasy books, I think it's really fun. So check it out. If I'm being perfectly honest, I have such a hard time plugging my own stuff because I get very anxious about it. I'm working on it, but it's definitely difficult. So anyway, you all know that I love Book of the Month. Again, not sponsored, but I just love it. I have a hard time. If I go into a bookstore, especially if I go into a really big bookstore, or if I'm searching on Amazon or whatever, I don't always know what I'm looking for. And I'm not necessarily, sometimes I'm looking for what everybody's reading, but sometimes I want something a little different. Sometimes it can get overwhelming. So I love that Book of the Month kind of curates things down to 5 choices. And you can read a little blurb and get a taste of it. And they also have, kind of what other people have to say about it. And then if you don't like any of the options, they also have all these other books that you can pick from, past books that they've offered. So you're always going to find something. And I love that I'm reading more, and I'm reading lots of books that I might not have ever found, or bought. Because some of them have been surprisingly good. I got really excited about my newest delivery. It just came the other day. I really was excited about the book that I chose, and then I also added another book on as a little Christmas present to myself. They also sent me some Book of the Month themed holiday stickers, and they're so cute. I love them. Maybe a little too much, but yeah, send me stickers. I love stickers. So I was so excited about the book that I got this month that I paused the fantasy novel that I'm reading, and I took a day to read this one. It was so good. So today I want to talk about The Half-Sister by Sandie Jones. So this book is told from 2 points of view. They're sisters named Kate and Lauren, and Kate is a successful journalist who's married to a wonderful man. But she is struggling with fertility issues, and she envies her sister's family. Lauren is the older sister and mother of 3, and she has a picture-perfect marriage, but underneath things are not nearly as good as they seem. And she envies Kate's free, jet-setting lifestyle. At the center of their lives is the reality of their father's sudden death 10 months before, and their vague and constantly hiding everything behind a smile mother. During a family lunch, the doorbell rings, and a girl half their age steps into their lives and sets off a chain reaction of unbelievable events. Her name is Jess. She's 22, and she claims to be their half-sister, the daughter of their deceased father. So Kate refuses to believe it. She was a daddy's girl, and she sees him in this, she sees him as a hero, like a perfect man. Lauren is older and has a little more information and a very different experience with their father. So she believes Jess immediately. However, no one is close to the actual truth. I don't really want to say anything else because there are so many twists and turns in this story, and I really don't want to give away any of them. I really enjoyed it. I thought the story was interesting, and the twists and turns were not entirely expected. And it was fun to watch how the story revealed itself. I also love the way that Sandie Jones wrote the relationships. You know, you have the relationship of the sisters, you have the relationship of each of them with their mother, each of them with their father, and then also you throw in the husbands and now this half-sister, and it's just, all of the relationships were very well-defined, and there was a lot of surprising layers. I also felt that the characters were incredibly relatable, so much so that when the not-so-nice sides of their personality show, you feel personally injured by it. I love it when an author can create that sort of, emotional reaction to something. Yeah, it was really excellent. I don't want to give away anything else, but The Half-Sister by Sandie Jones was excellent. She's apparently written other books. I believe I've read one of them, and I definitely plan on reading the other ones. So at this point, I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, I will tell you all about the Yule Cat and Icelandic Christmas folklore. Hey book lovers, Em here. I want to talk to you about Prisma Text. During quarantine, I started learning German using an app, and I've kept it going for several months now. I'm really enjoying it, but I'm kind of ready to mix it up a little bit. And Prisma Text had exactly what I was looking for. Prisma Text books are a brand new way of studying a foreign language. Rather than using flashcards or apps, the learner can simply pick up an ebook and start reading. Currently, Prisma Text books are available in English as a first language, and they target languages including Spanish, French, Italian, German, and Portuguese. I got Little Women, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and Wuthering Heights, 3 of my favorites with German words mixed right in. Follow the link in the show notes to help support the podcast. I would greatly appreciate it. And use code BOOKSANDCATS for 30% off your order. That's all caps. Books, the letter N, cats. Start learning today while enjoying your favorite classics with Prisma Text. Welcome back, book and cat lovers. So, yesterday was December 14th, and that is Edward's Gotcha Day, or the day that he showed up at our house. He is my Christmas kitty, and my little black fluff ball has turned into a big black fluff ball. And if you look at my Instagram, I actually posted a picture of him where he was sleeping. He looked like a black hole. He just made a perfect little circle. I'm so glad he showed up in our driveway. So I love Christmas kitties, obviously. And I learned about a different Christmas kitty called the Yule Cat. Have you heard of the Yule Cat? Because I had not. It is part of Icelandic Christmas folklore, and it is a huge, vicious cat who lurks about the snowy countryside during Christmas time and eats people who have not received any new clothes to wear before Christmas Eve, which is pretty harsh. So you better get yourself a nice outfit for Christmas Eve, or else the Yule Cat's going to eat you. The Yule Cat is part of this Icelandic folklore that depicts these figures living together as a family in a cave. And so you have the Yule Cat, and then you have Gryla, who is a female giant with an appetite for the flesh of mischievous children. She cooks them in a large pot, and her husband, Leopoldi, is lazy and mostly stays home in the cave. There are also the Yule Lads, which are the sons of Gryla and Lapaldi. They are a group of 13 mischievous pranksters who steal or harass the population, and all have descriptive names that convey their favorite way of harassing. They come into town one by one during the last 13 nights before Christmas. They leave small gifts in shoes that children place on windowsills, but if the child has been disobedient, they instead leave a potato in the shoe. So, these Christmas-related folktales first appeared around the 17th century, and they vary based on region and when they came about. In modern times, these characters have actually taken on a slightly more benevolent role. So, the first written accounts of the Yule Cat have only been located as recent as the 19th century. The threat of being eaten by the Yule Cat was used by farmers as an incentive for their workers to finish processing the autumn wool before Christmas. The ones who took part in the work would be rewarded with new clothes, but those who did not would get nothing and thus would be preyed upon by the monstrous cat, which is, I guess, one way to make your workers work. The cat has also been described as merely eating away the food of a person who doesn't have clothes during Christmas feasts. So the perception of the Yule Cat as a man-eating beast was kind of popularized by poems. Anyway, you better dress nice for Christmas or the Yule Cat's gonna get you. Luckily, I don't think my Christmas kitty would attack me for not having new clothes. So I am fascinated with Iceland. It is right on the top of my I must go visit it list. And another awesome Icelandic Christmas tradition that I found is that they exchange books on Christmas Eve, and then they spend the rest of the night reading them in bed and eating chocolate. If that doesn't sound like the perfect Christmas Eve, I don't know what does. This tradition is part of a season called Jólabókaflóð. I definitely said that wrong, and I'm sorry. It translates to the Christmas book flood because Iceland, which publishes more books per capita than any other country, sells most of their books between September and November due to people preparing for the upcoming holiday. I love that. Keep buying books, people. Let's bring the book flood over here. I love it. I definitely have a book flood going on this Christmas for my family, let me tell you. So now it's time for the quote of the week. This comes from The Never-Ending Story, which, if you are not familiar, read and or watch The Never-Ending Story. But the quote is, "If you stop to think about it, you'll have to admit that all the stories in the world consist essentially of 26 letters. The letters are always the same. Only the arrangement varies. From letters, words are formed. From words, sentences. From sentences, chapters. And from chapters, stories." I love it. I mean, it's accurate. But I just love the way that it's phrased. And it is pretty amazing that you can take 26 letters and create so many different things. So thank you again for listening. If you are enjoying the podcast and you want to give me a little boost, please subscribe and leave me a rating. Also, if you want to reach out, if you need someone to talk to, if your holiday's not going as well as it could be, books.cats.pod on Instagram or books.cats.pod@gmail.com. Send me a message. And let me know what you're reading right now. Let me know how your holidays are going. If you're interested, check out Feelers. The link is in the description. And next week, there may or may not be an episode. I'm going to try to get one out, but due to the holiday, I don't know how well that's going to work. So if I don't have an episode next week, have a wonderful holiday season, and I will be back in 2 weeks. And until next time, keep reading.